Hi, this is Eric. It's late spring. I'm going to be walking us through a C30 oil and filter change. Right now I got it safely jacked up. Jack stands underneath, wheel chock in the back, and the jack's on the other side just in case. First thing we got to do is, if you look underneath the car, there's a splash shield plastic that has 6 T30 Torx bolts, and we'll be taking these off first. That's 1, 6 to go, and you can get the gist on the rest. Okay, the splash shield's removed. There's actually 7 Torx bolts, so I was wrong on that first call of 6. If you look underneath the car, here is where the oil drain plug is. We'll be replacing that with a magnetic one. Before we actually start draining the oil, we're going to crack the oil filter housing. Okay, in order to access the cartridge type filter, which is way down in there, we're going to slide to the side this air intake filter. So we're going to take that off. Okay, there's actually 2 screws which hold on the intake cover. I think per some of the forum members, the idea is for this screw, when you take it out, to slot the actual cover so you can just slide it back up rather than have to fool with this bolt. You can just loosen it a little bit and tighten it up again. Okay, we're ready to kind of just crack open that oil filter cartridge cover before we actually drain the oil. You can see I already slotted the intake cover to make it easier to get off next time, and I'm just going to go ahead and access that filter via 3/8 setup with a universal on the end, and I believe this is a 36mm socket. Okay, I'm going to talk a little louder because the compressor's going in the background. We've got the new drain plug ready to go. The old one's going to come off, which is right there. Drain the oil into the pan. It's a 17mm socket that takes off the oil drain plug. And one thing I noticed that was really cool, the lower radiator hose, which is right here, which goes along the back, underneath the engine to the back of the block, they've actually made this a hard pipe. It's hidden by the splash shield when it's on, but that's nice to know in case something ever pops through there. I thought that was good engineering. Okay. Got the plug off, oil's dripping, and we're going to go ahead and replace that plug when it's all done with a magnetic one. Okay, you can kind of see the old plug. Looks like they probably put a little sealant on the old one. This is the first oil change in this car. We're roughly at about 3,000 miles. We've got a new plug. It's got a magnet at the end of it, which theoretically is supposed to pick up any type of metal that might be circulating in the engine that gets by the oil filter or just floating around in the oil. Okay, we're going ahead to access the oil filter cartridge. Okay, I think as the oil filter gets filled and worked on, it wanted to come out with the cap, the cover cap, so made it a little more difficult to get out, but you just kind of move that air intake down a little bit and you should be able to wiggle it out there. So okay, the old cartridge is out. We're getting ready to put the new cartridge in. Most of your oil filter kits, it's all Volvo parts, have the new rubber O-ring in with the filter itself, so make sure you replace that. Okay, just tightening the new filters in, just tighten the cover up. Definitely takes a little finagling to get in there, but what I did was I dropped in the cartridge first, pulled down on the air intake and kind of wiggled the cover and cap back on, and you thread it in by hand and finish it up with a wrench. Hopefully you can see how slotting the air intake will make it easier to take on and put off next time. Thanks for that tip. Okay, everything's back together. It's definitely going to make it easier to take this out next time. All that's left is to add 6.1 quarts of oil. I believe 5W30 is recommended by Volvo.